Familia, today we're talking about virtual intimacy and how keep things alive with your partner.
Hey Enzo. Oh, this is probably too long for a voice note.
Hey Claire, I know. Save it for the podcast.
Your space for an unfiltered and candid conversation.
Skip the small talk and dive in deep. Hello Familia, welcome back to episode number 4 of our summer season.
The mini season, the micro season. We are
micro
back.
Season.
How are you, Enzo?
Really good, really happy. It feels like, oh my god, we're almost at the end of the summer.
Exactly.
Kinda. It's so fast,
it?
but it's so good that we managed to do this like short season in the middle.
And
so
we're gonna come back soon for a proper full length.
Yeah,
season.
I would guess like autumn.
Exactly,
right?
like an autumn
seasonal.
time.
So we're gonna give you time to catch up if you haven't.
Catch up on these 4 episodes. Lots of content on our social media platforms as always. You know where we are.
Definitely. If you want to get like a bit of like bites of the episode, definitely go check our socials because we are posting a lot lately.
Totally.
So you're welcome, guys. So okay, as our new tradition, we need to start with
Guess that hum.
I say hump. That's a different thing. That's a different thing.
That hump. Guess that hum.
That hum.
Oh my goodness.
So this time is my week because
your topic.
My topic.
Let's
so
see.
it's my week. So I think.
Have it.
Okay, there's a song came to me now, and I think it's gonna be quite easy for you, I have to say. But okay here we go.
All right, I'm nervous for you. I'm nervous for you. Oh, I ain't your mama. I ain't your mama. I'm gonna get in the laundry. Oh, J-Lo ain't your mama.
Well done.
It took me longer though than I was like.
Because I was trying to make it a bit different.
Okay.
Like the pitch.
A remix.
So make it a bit more difficult for you, Claire. Just like because it was her birthday the other day,
J-Lo,
so celebrating her mom.
Yes.
I want to talk about something. I think my topic this week is a bit juicy. It's a bit like
I'm sorry.
It's juicy. Like,
the green tea.
It's like an old lady from the old time.
I know.
It's like, what do you mean by juicy?
Is it scandalous?
Well, it depends. It's a bit. I think it could be intimate as well.
Oh.
So anyway, I would like to talk about like kind of like about cyber sets.
Oh.
And
oh. I was convinced that you had another topic.
Spicy. What's the topic?
I'm not going to tell you because maybe I'll use that topic.
I just want to talk about like cyber sex, like long distance, like intimacy and all of these things.
Okay, how interesting.
I don't know how I get into this particular topic because I have this around on my list of topics for a while.
Okay.
But I think I think I saw an article about virtual intimacy and how that's becoming like a huge thing more and more nowadays. And obviously because we have more tools, we're more connected than ever and all of that. And there are more like spaces to go on with this and like explore. And I just want to talk about it and how can you like maybe even improve the quality of your relationship, like trying different ways, like if you're not together at the time or even if you live together and you see each other all the time, there's things you can do to keep it spicy.
So tell us more. What exactly do you mean by like cyber intimacy? You know?
I'm gonna go into details, Claire. I'm gonna expand myself. The concept of cyber sets, it's getting very popular because it's like a way, it's a new way that challenge the traditional ideas of intimacy, suggesting that sex doesn't have to occur impersonal to be meaningful or sexual. So sex is, I think, as we go in life, in this timeline, like we're expanding the way that we get intimate and we experience like intimacy and privacy and sex and all of that.
But is it like wanking online, basically?
It could be. I guess it could be.
Just to lay it out straight. Is that what we're talking about?
Not necessarily. I mean,
okay.
Not necessarily because this is more between like within a relationship.
Okay.
It's not like you're gonna find like a male whore or a women whore or like a them whore and have sex with them in a chat.
So it's not like a chat thingy
No. It's more like another side of relationships to explore.
Okay, please do carry on.
So basically, this kind of like cyber sets is a way. I think like the title of this episode have to be like virtual intimacy or something like that, because we're gonna get banned of the times I'm gonna say sets here. But anyway, so basically, like the fact that so many people are experiencing this is because like this type of encounters just mean that we can experience sexual connections that can be maintained and enhanced through technology, making it easier for people that like in long-distance relationships, people that sometimes they are isolated, or even people with disabilities that they struggle to get into sexual encounters with people, right? So just to like expand a bit of that before we chitty-chatty about this topic. I was reading like an article from Esther Perel that we love her. She's like Esther is an amazing
therapist, podcast host. She does it all.
She does it all. She's amazing. And there was this article that were talking her about like erotic intelligence, which is very connected to the way we perceive things, like, you know, like different practices around sex, like cyber sex. So obviously she's very pro, like, go do cyber sets, do whatever. She's very open to this because it's really helpful. And one of the things she says is like, we have an erotic mind that's infinite, and eroticism thrives on the ritual and the celebration and the infiniteness of our imagination, and on the forbidden, and for that matter too. So basically, like, being like really imaginative and open and try different ways, it really helps like the way that we even experience our relationship. So I want to ask you, Claire, what's your experience with like cyber sex? Cyber sex, it could be from sending not a dick pic, but
sending
a
like
vagina pic.
Okay.
Up to like sexual calls, sexting, video calls, masturbating with your partner or boyfriend, or based on your dating, all of that. How's your experience? How you feel about that?
My experience, God, like, where to begin?
Whoa,
I'm where to begin?
Into something. I think I got into this topic because I feel like I'm not really open about this. I always feel, and I don't think I'm judgmental. I just feel like it's weird to me, and that's what I remember now. What I got into this topic because this is like such a weird notion. I feel like, I don't know, like experience. I don't know if I get why anything to having like really digital interactions with people or my partner. I find sexting a bit strange. I don't really connect with that. So it make me think like, oh, maybe I'm very close-minded about it and I should read more about this, right? So that's why I got into this topic. And yeah, there are people like basically like some couples, for example, they play roles via messages. This could be during the day, you know? Like you're at work and
then
you just
you're like getting like,
and you're like, you know, you're a secretary, whatever, and you send a message to your boyfriend like,
interesting.
Hey,
do
you need any help today?
To get you into it, kind of thing.
Or it can be after sending a photo or like exploring in different ways.
So it's not really to do with like the rise of AI or anything like that. It's more about like intimacy via like phone or text or email or whatever. But
when
like
you were thinking about AI,
because I think I'm thinking about AI a lot in general, and we did a topic about this earlier in like in a previous season about ChatGPT becoming a therapist, right? So I thought you were going in the direction of more like like online intimacy but with AI.
No, not necessarily. No, this is more person to person. It's also like how like technology overall is like a tool to explore more our sexuality in different ways.
Thank you for that. An interesting one.
Well,
I think actually I can probably share that. I don't think I've ever told you this.
Oh.
But I used to date this person who was a fucking disaster. If you're watching it, we know who you are. But he used to get really turned on by writing things to me. The relationship was super toxic, by the way. And like I think that he used to like write me like long sexual emails or like long sexual texts. And I think like kind of to your point of what you raised earlier, like I think it kind of like, because maybe you won't be seeing each other all the time. In that case, we weren't seeing each other all the time. Or I think it's got to match the partner or the person that you're writing it to, because I don't think I particularly get like turned on by receiving that, but I think he got really turned on by like writing it. which
is
I
my
think
same
can be like
experience.
problematic in itself.
Yeah, because you don't match in that.
Yeah, but I feel like if with your partner you both really get like aroused by that, or like you like playing like a different character or something, then why not go for it?
Do you find any like positive things or exciting things about that experience you have with this person you used to date, like all of this like writing and like there's anything about it that you find like it was like interesting or arousing?
I think it's a difficult example because I think that relationship was incredibly toxic.
Yeah,
so I think for me to be,
yeah.
this is like being completely transparent, but that's the
Yeah,
point
yeah.
of this podcast, to have unfiltered and candid conversations.
Let's keep the small talk
I
and
feel
dive
like
deep.
it used to make me feel like I had him. Like it was a way of being like,
okay.
oh look, he's doing that again. I have him. But that's completely like, obviously like that's completely toxic, and that's like not a normal way to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
But I think that
which kind of makes sense of how like also technology can like, because yeah, we're talking about relationship, but a lot of relationships are not healthy relationships.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sure like there's a lot of power dynamics there that I think there's like
so.
another thing
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
can go on, which
Yeah.
is what's kind of probably happening in that case.
Yeah, but I think like that nowadays, like with my boyfriend, like I don't think we really like communicate that way. Also like we live together, but then not to say that if you don't live together, like you shouldn't do this, because like I feel like I kind of feel like it's fine. I feel like I'm like, I think I don't have like an aversion to sexting, like you were saying. Like I feel like, and I think at the beginning of like me and Jorge, we used to like, because obviously you're only seeing each other like once a week. So we used to like sext all the time, at the beginning, and but then it was like cute and like, you know, growing that sexual intimacy. But I feel like I don't have an aversion to it. I think that it can be very like at the beginning of the relationship maybe.
I want to get also a bit into that as well, like and not to get into relationship vibes. Well, I mean the topic is about relationship at the end of the day and how we experience them, but how you because it's interesting what you're saying, like at the beginning when you are dating someone, it's all very sexual. It's always very sexual, and it's never really sweet because it feels weird. And then there's a switch that start being sweet. And do you feel like it was really hard for you, or do you feel overall, doesn't have to make an example with your current partner because you know maybe it's too personal, but do you feel weird like the switch to maybe like, or the balance to stay like, oh, we're being cute but also sexual?
I think it's a normal thing that we can struggle with, right? Like in long-term relationships, because it's like, especially, you know, you live together, you become friends, and not to say that you become friends, like you become housemates. We've said that before, like you need to be friends with your partner. Like if you wouldn't pick them as a friend, then they're not going to be a long-term partner.
You won't be able to deal with them.
Exactly, you need to be a friend. So obviously sometimes I think the context switching, and Esther Perel talks about that, between like, well, we're cooking dinner, or we're like talking about finances, or we're like cleaning, to now we're having sex, I think can be difficult because it's like a context switching type thing. I feel like, to be completely honest, like I feel, and I'm not just saying that because like out of like loyalty to my boyfriend or anything like that, like genuinely I feel we have a very good sexual relationship. And I feel like obviously I've had other relationships in the past, like had other like boyfriends, had like casual encounters as well. But I do feel like we have something very unique where I do feel like we're really good friends and partners, but we also have been able to, for 3 years, to really keep that passion alive,
which is like,
and I'm really grateful for that. And we haven't had to try anything yet. Of course I want to be with my boyfriend for our whole lives. I obviously understand that there might come a point where you need to like spice it up, like like let's send a sexy pic.
I'm gonna be Princess Leia today or something, you know. I'm gonna be, I don't know,
texting like when I'm in the office, like, what are you wearing?
Tell me what's the color of your socks. And it's like, wow, okay. You know, like,
exactly. I still think in the grand scheme of life, like 3 years is not that long.
I'm feeling really comfortable where I am in my relationship now, but it made me think like, oh, maybe there's always, because I think there's always something you can do, right?
To spice it
there's
up.
Something, you know, even spice up, but maybe there's also, because sometimes when things are going well, doesn't mean that you cannot do some things different. Like, why
So
not?
true.
You know, like exploring something else. And maybe think sometimes like maybe people that are more open to do this more often randomly, it kind of adds a new layer to your relationship that you didn't know. Like, it made me think, like, I mean, I don't send to my partner like a random dick pic during the week for no reason, right?
I don't see you as
because
a dick pic
I think
sender
that would be
in general.
weird.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be weird. Maybe it wouldn't be that weird. Maybe we do it and it would be like, oh, yeah, dick. You know, like, it could be, but maybe it would be like, oh, why are you sending me like a dick pic in the middle of the day without even discussing it? You know, I think it's that... where I don't know, maybe you just need to just go for it, but it made me think about like, oh, maybe there are things that I can do just for fun and see if they work.
Yeah,
like,
I think you should go for it.
You know, like,
yeah,
it's not because you need it, it's just maybe because it adds a new layer that it can be fun.
Can I ask you something like really personal that you might not be comfortable sharing, but the thing is, I've been on the spot. Yeah. So, for example, I probably won't want to know the answer to this because obviously Enzo's like my brother, so I'm going to be like, oh, okay. Yeah. For example, like if you and your partner are separate at the moment because he's in his home country, would you like if you are horny, as I guess you both are, would you text each other? Do you know what I mean? Would you start to have like phone texting convo, or would you just like go to your own, I guess, porn or whatever you do?
On my own space to do my own personal
you know what I mean?
Like you go on your own and check the boys that you check to wank. Honestly, yeah, like I think like now this topic has made me think about that as well, because I think this is normally something I do with my partner. It's not like when we are separate, there's a point that we start like sexting each other to kind of spice it up.
Yeah,
like, maybe sometimes we can mention, oh, I'm horny, or things like that. It could be part of the conversation.
You're like, good for you.
It's like, solve it. Like, solve with your own hand, because that's it for now. You're away. But yeah, that could be a thing, you know, because maybe I do feel, and maybe this is like really oversharing as well, but I do feel like when you are, I mean, everyone wanks and you can obviously have an orgasm and you can have fun with it, but there's a point that it gets boring. I mean, I don't know how the experience for you as a woman, I don't know if it's different or not, but I think as a man you can wank a few times, but then it starts getting like, I don't know, it's like it starts
interesting,
it gets boring, you know, it gets like very like quick satisfaction and that's it, and you need something more, you just come and that's it. It's as primary, I would say, as like bam, 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 come, nah. And then there's a point that it gets a bit like, oh, I just wish the person was here, because this is getting like long, because
you don't have the intimacy,
you don't have the intimacy, and that's why maybe all these things about doing like things digitally, or like how technology plays there, it helps, you know. And it makes me think like, oh, maybe if I add those things to my routine, to my conversations, maybe actually it will make the weight or like separation better. Maybe not, because I mean, in my mind, I feel like, I find it's a bit weird to do like texting. I don't know, I find it like a bit strange.
I think also you have to both be in the same place, right? As you do when you want to initiate in-person sex with your partner, which can be difficult, I think, as well, also when you live together, because also you're kind of like, oh, but I'm washing up, why are you trying to have sex with me right now? Like, that's something I think we had to overcome, you know? I'm
just taking the trash out. Like, don't touch me now.
Exactly. And I think also another thing is like timing. Like, I don't know about you and your partner, but like me and my partner are not always like horny at the same time of day.
Of course,
like, you know, it's a thing that you have to navigate, right?
And sometimes maybe you need to give and take. It's a bit of like maybe like boring data, but there's, you know, there's a lot of studies and things, and talk about like how digital intimacy can really help to maintain closeness physically. So maintain closeness if you're not physically together, whatever it is, a time, if it's one day, if it's a few hours or something. And basically one of the things that I find really interesting, like adding like this like digital encounters, whatever you want to call them, it really improves your sexual satisfaction. So basically there's a lot of studies, like a lot of like medical studies, like medical studies by Canadian Journal of Health, you know, I'm talking about real things here, guys. That a lot of like couples, they find like this really enhanced experience when they're together, like building up in different ways, like whatever it is, that sexting, sending a photo, blah blah blah, when they are together, it feels like boom.
Ooh.
For example, you can be sexting your partner the whole day, and then when you get home, and then it's like, oh my god,
Look
that
at them.
it's like, wow, you
They're
kind of like build
here.
up into something.
Yeah.
But that's what really interesting for me, like that.
Can I just say on that point before I forget, as you're going on that
Yeah.
point, don't you think that that's kind of like a lot of affairs, and why Esther also
Oof,
talks about
yeah.
this? But it's like that exact point, right, about why affairs are like so hot, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because it's like that thing of like, you don't see them.
Yeah.
But then you're like building the intimacy,
Building a
and you
fantasy
can't
almost.
have them, because
Yeah,
sex is very much
100%.
a lot about that, right? It's
Yeah.
quite a lot about like, you know, why does it die in long-term relationships? Sometimes it's because they're always there, accessible, and you can always have them.
True.
Whereas like, why do you always want to, why is it so hot at the beginning of a relationship? It's because like, you don't know if you've got them yet. Like, I think that's what we need to sometimes look to create in our long-term, happy, comfortable
so
relationships.
right.
But I
You're
think
so
that's
right.
why maybe what the appeal is for people having affairs
Yeah.
is that like building up of tension. It's wrong, I can't quite have it. Obviously that's a very overly simplified explanation,
Obviously.
but it's something, it reminded me of that a little
you're
bit,
so
you
right,
know.
and
And then
it's
they might
true.
send like a sexy picture, and then they might be like, meet you in the bathroom in 10
Yeah.
minutes or something like that, you know.
And also
that
it
kind of
happens with a
thing.
lot of people. They do have, I have like, I think I mentioned this story before in the podcast, but I had like a person that I know that had a friend. I'm like, I'm like walking an eggshell here, like avoiding the fire, that they had like, they were together with a partner for a really long time, maybe married, and they were having, one of the person in the couple, like a digital affair.
Yeah.
So basically we're having a digital relationship. Well, it was a relationship with this person, which included like a lot of sexting,
Yeah.
not images. They never met in person.
They were just chatting,
They were
right?
chatting.
Yeah.
They were chatting with
Yeah.
a lot of sexual, and they become kind of like, kind of what you're saying before about like, no, they were sending emails as well, kind of becoming like a play almost of like writing each other all this erotic stuff. And obviously the partner then confessed that to the partner, and it was really hard, and they almost broke up from that, because it's kind of like a digital cheating. It's very strange. It's strange. It's like digital cheating, because you are having sexual intimacy, sexual intimacy with someone else.
Yeah.
And that implies so many things, that maybe you're in the need of something with your actual partner, or maybe you just need to have that as well, and how you navigate that. And
Because,
it makes me think a lot like, that's a way of an affair. And like, she never, this person, she never went to like fully do it digital, like
Offline.
sorry,
They never took it
offline.
Yeah.
They never got offline, but it was becoming really an issue for her. That's why she confessed to the
So
boyfriend.
why was it an issue? Because she felt so guilty.
Yeah, she felt like she was cheating on the boyfriend. What she was, obviously not physically, but she felt like, I cannot keep this with me anymore.
And is that cheating for you? If you caught your partner doing that? Because I think that this is an interesting one, right?
It's an
like
interesting
talking about
one. Yeah.
this in the context
In a-
of like
yeah.
not in the relationship, outside of the relationship,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
are in a committed
yeah.
relationship.
God, I mean, I do think like it is a way of cheating that I guess, I mean, I think cheating is cheating, right? But I think there are like nuances to it, and like there are different scenarios and situations that made it like better or worse. And I think like, for me, if like my partner comes to me and saying like, oh, I'm cheating with you with a random guy online from Germany, first I think I would kind of laugh. Then I would be worried, but I would laugh. I was like, I don't know, like if someone's cheating on me, I was expecting at least like, I met this super hot guy and I couldn't like just fuck him. I was like, well, at least it has an interesting plot twist. It's horrible, but you know, like you're just sexting with a guy from Germany. That's like, you know, I don't know, like I think for me it's more worrying in the sense of like, okay, we need to have some conversations.
Yeah.
What are you missing here, and why you are and how come you're finding it chatting with a random person, and will you take this to the next level?
Yeah,
I think that's a bit of that.
Interesting.
I don't know how much of a cheating I will consider it. Depends on how far it went. I think if it included like photos and videos, I think that would be like, wow.
What about I love yous?
Yeah, no, that's a lot. If it's like,
What
I
about like
love you-
emotional? Like maybe not as strong as that. What about like
emotional? I think emotional is worse.
yeah.
Because if it's just like physical, I can I can understanding it to a level because it can go more to like, you know, it's a physical thing, blah, 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 which is also sometimes an excuse for a lot of affairs, to be honest. But if it's emotional, I think that's the worst because it's like, ooh.
I don't know. I get what you say. I think you have like a really like mature approach to these things, like a bit of like a lack of jealousy. I don't find you're not very jealous. But then this is hypothetical, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I think I would be jealous, but I also feel like I'd be like really sad because I'd be like, oh, you know, to take that example of that story that you told, like, I think I would feel if that was like my boyfriend, like, oh, there was something that you were doing quite regularly in your life, which was chatting to this girl that I didn't know anything about. Yeah. I think that's what I would struggle with the cheating. I think for me, it's less, even with like a physical affair, let's say. I think, I know a lot of people say this is not like groundbreaking, but it's like the secrets and the lying that I don't think I could recover from. Like the whole like, oh, you said you were there, but you were there.
Yeah.
I think we've spoken about this before on the podcast, but like, but then also it's like, oh, you're like chatting to someone. It's like weird, right? Because I think like with Andis and like with Jorge, it's like, I think mainly Jorge will say like, oh, I chatted to that person today, or like I spoke to this person, I got a message from this person. It would be like, oh wow, you've been like having this whole side thing that you went. That's what I think I'd find really sad about that.
And I think it comes from the back of what you were saying before, like hopefully your partner is like your best friend, or one of the most, you know, like the most one of the most important people or the most important people in your life in ways. So that it's a bit like, oh, you are all of that for me, and you cannot even, you are hiding this thing.
Yeah, totally.
What do you feel if like your partner comes to you and says like, I want to experience that, can we chat together? Or I want to chat having a sexual
with
digital
me
chat with another person.
No.
Or if you don't want me to do, like, it could be anyone. It cannot be, even could be like a person without a face. It's
like
just,
an AI.
It's just I want to. Exactly, which is connected to the other topic that we have. Like, I just need to have like this like outlet of sexual texting with someone or something that I don't know. If you don't want me to do it alone, will you do it with me together so we could do it with another couple? What do you feel about it? Do you think that's extremely weird?
I don't think it's weird. And I feel like you've got to be really careful in a relationship, right? Because like, you don't own anyone. You don't, I think we have this sense of like, the more long term you get and the more like enmeshed your lives become, the more you think that that other person belongs to you. No one belongs to you. No one. You belong to yourself, and that's it. Like, so it's not, ultimately, I don't think it's weird. I think I would find it painful. Okay. But that's something different. I feel but I also feel like you have to be realistic, and like we change, like everything changes as we grow older. True. And we shift through different seasons of our lives, and our sexuality shifts like that. It's like, who knows? Like, one day you might be like, I want to fuck a girl. Like, you identify as gay, but you never know. Or maybe your boyfriend will be like, I want to have a threesome with a woman. You just don't know. And I think you like, that's the risk, right, of being in a relationship or being in love. You've kind of given it's really cringe to say, but you've given someone else like a little piece of you, and then you have to be like, okay, like I hope we do as they do with you, and you try to do the best, basically. But
I hope we can, match this work. It's really interesting because I feel like the version of yourself of who you were when you started with your partner, it's not, I won't say totally different, but probably it's different to who you are now.
Definitely.
Hopefully you are both changing at the same time, and those changes are matching. Sometimes maybe they are not matching, then they match again, but maybe they're like parts that are this, like, oh, I want to do something totally different.
Exactly.
And you need to know how to navigate that. It's like, oh, do I want to jump into this with that? But if I don't do it, what does that mean for me and for you and for us?
I just feel like it's unrealistic for our relationships to stay the same for our whole lives. If you want to be with somebody for your whole life, you're not going to stay in the same job for 40 years, right? You're not going to watch the same TV show for 40 years. It needs to be open to that. I think I would much prefer a painful conversation and okay, let's build a solution together than you're going behind my back, basically.
And at least it will build trust, So I was talking before about the benefits of like exploring doing anything digital with your partner. And one of the things was like doing this, it really deepens trust and vulnerability. So basically, it allows the couple to explore desires and maintain emotional security when apart, for example. So it's kind of interesting. Like, I guess you can practicing this for a bit. I guess it can just like open a door of learning things about your partner that they will never tell you because it's weird. Or like, I think even like, for example, things like role play, it may open a door. Like, your partner can come, it's like, oh, I want to be a little dog and you need to like beat me because I was a bad dog, whatever. Like that. It's like, oh, this is opening something I didn't know about you. And it's kind of interesting because if you really want to spend a life with a person, in theory, you just want to like deepen like how you know the person.
Totally.
And that's part of us. And I think, unfortunately, sexuality is like, at least for our generation, I don't know the new one, but our generation is something that, even though it was more free, but still there's a lot of like taboos, things you don't say, things that, even though I'm saying today, do you think it's weird? You know, using terminology like this, like weird, awkward, it's like things that we grew up with.
Yeah,
so
true.
You know, exploring these things can be like a new
it's very interesting.
Maybe we'll open doors that you were like, oh, I didn't want to know this.
Will you try this with your boyfriend, do you think? I think you should send him like a dick pic. Be like, Feliz Navidad.
Bitches.
Out of the blue.
Out of the blue. Out of the blue, yeah.
Literally.
I could try. I need to like think more about it. I think like, I was like, what's going to be the art direction of this? You know, I was thinking like,
I know.
What's going to be the concept? What's going to be the lighting? What are people wearing? What not be wearing? You know, I think
it
like,
must be really hard. I am, well, I mean, I'm not going to reveal the identity of this, just talking about sexy pictures.
Yeah.
We have a friend who is single.
Yeah, okay.
And she received some pictures from a gentleman that were unasked for, which I think is problematic.
It's a bit problematic, yeah.
Of his bum hole.
Oh.
And I swear to God, this man was creative. This man had thought about, because I was thinking like, I have never personally done that. Like, I was like, that's actually a hard angle to capture. And he went through like all, and I was like, whoa, that is creativity right there.
You're like,
I was honestly like,
this is problematic, but I appreciate you. I appreciate your talent. I appreciate your vision.
I was like, he's really captured it from all the different angles. How interesting.
That's so interesting for like, I presume a straight man, I don't know if it was a straight man, but for a man that maybe is dating a woman.
Yeah. He wanted to date her,
which is good, you know. You go, girl, because you know, like we need to be open to do
you're right. It's unusual for a straight guy to be honest, because sometimes there's a whole taboo about like bum stuff. I never even thought about that, but no, this guy did not seem to be shy or probably have a problem with that. He wanted
his butthole to
have
the spotlight. And I was just like,
that is work. Like, it is work. Wow, you know.
Interesting.
So there you go.
I have some like tips. I wonder, this is like, I found it like interesting because there are so many articles about it because obviously the internet. And they were like, oh, if you want to start trying to do this with your partner or whoever you're dating, add a bit more of like a digital intimacy situation to your relationship.
Okay.
So, you know, there's a lot of like, you know, you need to set the mood, like make an effort. And, you know, like, for example, you can start sending a photo that you know your partner will like. You can start safe, you know, start like in a safe thing, you know, like find a place that maybe you know, it won't be like maybe the butthole. It will be like, oh, I know, like, I don't know, my partner likes my boobs. So I want to send like a sexy boob photo.
Exactly.
You know, like,
you know,
like, that's a good start. You won't be like vagina, you know, because it'll be like, oh, there's a honest vagina photo from my girlfriend. It's like, right. But, you know, just start with something that you know your partner likes. So that's a good starting point to make it like go into this and see. So basically, all the tips is like, oh, we spoke before, like tease your partner with a photo, a voice message, a video, an email, as you mentioned before. It doesn't have to be like the typical what you're wearing. It could be like other things. You can just start talking about anything else. Kind of like be creative and like just think about a fantasy about like it's about a lot of creativity, honestly.
It is creativity,
and it's like really thinking of your partner in a different way.
That part of your brain in more of a kind of creative like way, you know,
which is interesting, you know. This, for example, like, which is very interesting, you know, like there's like vibrators that you can have, like, I don't know if you ever tried one.
That you
like,
put on the penis,
like,
and then...
Oh yeah, or like, you know, your partner has the control, you have the vibrator and they can control it. You know
that you put like inside yourself, and then they control it. Yeah.
So that's a way as well. It's kind of like, to build that intimacy and like, you know, sometimes in movies they do it.
They did it in like 50 Shades, right?
I think so. Like that kind of thing. That's a thing. So, you know, you can try things like that, for example. One thing is interesting. You can go like online shopping together, or like online, or like a shopping date, and look for sex toys.
Okay,
just something like really like.
I think me and Jorge have done that. We've definitely done that. It's like really funny, you know.
It's really funny because also like there's a place to discover what the other person likes, and it's a good starting. It's like because maybe you discover, oh, your partner like lace, or you know, like leather.
I think that's like a fun date. If you've had like a couple of drinks, go for dinner in Soho, go to the sex shops in Soho. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of funny, lol. You know, it's fun.
100%. And also, like, I find this one interesting because it's connected to music. And it's kind of like you can create a set playlist to share with your partner. So it's a place that you can listen together. And you can have it like use it for solo masturbation or when you are on the phone masturbating. So you kind of like create the mood. It's like I create this sex playlist for both of us, and it's gonna be setting the mood.
Do you find, as a Sagittarius, you find it hard to take things seriously like this, though? Yeah. Because sometimes I find it really hard to take sex seriously, and I think it's a problem because I just can't. I'd be like, "Oh, here's our sex playlist." Like, I just can't imagine. Like, I think it's a great tip, and definitely, I just can't imagine taking it seriously like that. I'd be like, "Lol."
I agree, and I think that's why this topic for me it's really funny because I feel like, you know, sending a message of being like, ooh, this and that. It's like, oh my God, cringe. Like,
and well done for like answering the questions, because it's cringe for both of us. I think,
is, yeah,
you know,
well
for
done.
both.
Yeah. But it's interesting to because I guess like we always come back to this, but why is it cringe for us? Are we avoiding something?
Probably.
That's the thing, you know, that makes you think a lot. Like what you are avoiding there that maybe makes you feel uncomfortable. Why is uncomfortable?
So true. Can I just say one thing? Not to sound like a mum, but just to say this one thing, just because I just got a little bit conscious of this.
Okay.
That I know we do have some younger listeners that are obviously the main majority of our listeners are our age, but we've got some younger listeners. Obviously, not to sound like a mum, but if you are going to send any pictures or messages, please do take care with yourself, because I know especially for younger girls, but obviously younger boys as well, maybe don't include your face, because you know, I think we've known people in that situation in the past and it can be really bad, so just take care with that.
That's a really good point, and I think that's why obviously nothing is a guarantee of anything, because you never know, maybe somebody you think and you trust, it will be a motherfucker person who will do something against you, but I think this is something it's good to explore with someone that you trust.
Yes, just to say
like,
that kind of.
Yeah, it's really good that you bring this up.
I think this episode is kind of more aimed at like maybe our age and maybe more like in a relationship or kind of older, but just kind of to say, obviously, if you are younger, then make sure you trust that person, because obviously there is like a digital footprint, and like unfortunately, like 100%. People can use these things. So not to be too serious, but just to give that disclaimer.
It's true, and it's really because this is our reality nowadays.
What a good topic, love.
Thank you, love. Yeah, really interesting to. I'm gonna read a bit more of this, and maybe I will tell you even personal, like if I try something like that. You have to
tell us.
Yeah, but
and I think the listeners will enjoy as well, because it's very scandalous, very juicy.
Scandalous and juicy.
Let us know your experiences, and if you would like to.
Yeah, if you have any cool experience, let's share with us, because you know we learn together.
Exactly. Well, see you in a few weeks. I guess.
Thank you so much, Familia, for joining today. Yeah, see you in the next season.
In the next season. See you in the next season.
Bye, Familia. See ya.